stories they want to share. It could be a Metapower Minute, or it could be an oil story, or something that's helped them this week.
I burned the crap out of myself.
Mm.
On my little finger. Look, you can kind of see. Hold on. Where is it? There it is. Okay. So what happened was I was fixing a air fryer dish for my son. And you know, those things, they get up to 400 degrees, right? So sticking your hand in there to clean is like sticking your hand in a really hot oven. And I didn't stick my hand in the air fryer while it was on, thank goodness. But after it was done, about 20 minutes after the meal and everything, it's still pretty hot in there. And I took a wet sponge to wipe around the inside of the chamber for the residue. And my finger hit the heating element and it was white. My skin was not red. It was not blistered. It was white. And I went straight to, I mean, you can see the little mark on it now.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
This was on Saturday, right? So I went straight to the faucet right there, ran cold water on it and said, "You've got lavender. You've heard everybody tell you about how great lavender is." And I went straight to the shelf that I keep all my displays on. And there was a little 5 ml, and I put 1 drop of lavender on it. And I let it sit there. And I was over at LeeAnn's house on Sunday morning, and there was no blister. It was not swollen. It was not painful. You remember that, right?
That's amazing.
Yes.
It did look like many days old.
It looked like it was already several weeks old.
Lavender saved the day.
Lavender saved the day. And so since then, I did a sink full of dishes without my gloves on, and it got the skin a little bit wet. Yeah. But the burn mark was from this point right here all the way to this point. So you can kind of see a little bit of the outside margins of the burn from there to there. And this is the only part that lost skin when I was doing dishes. I was doing sinks of dishes, right?
Good for you.
And I'm just putting 1 drop of lavender on it a day.
Keep it healing.
1 drop a day.
Love it.
Those burn margins have shrunk. I had just a tiny little bit of exposed
Metapower
skin.
in your system. You got Metapower helping you.
And I got Metapower. I mean, I could walk on lava. I'm just saying. I'm heading to Hawaii. I'm going to Hawaii.
I love it. Okay, anybody else have a story they want to share?
I do actually. It's my younger sister's story. So she's pregnant. She's gonna actually have her baby on Monday, and she's has gestational diabetes now, and so they gave her a glucose monitor to keep track of her glucose levels. And she had run out of the Metapower, and so she's waiting for it to get back in stock individually. And so the first readings are where she's not on Metapower, and then she starts the Metapower with mainly the assist. And then also the advantage, and then her, she's recording all her numbers, and it was really cool to see because she had a meal before she was on the Metapower. It was like spaghetti and bread and everything, and her number was quite high. I want to say like 60 or 70, something like that. And she's supposed to keep it under 40, ideally 30. And so a few weeks later, after she's been on the Metapower, her numbers have been dropping, and she had basically the exact same meal, and it was under 40 because she had the assist. And I was like, that is so cool that you have the documentation of how it's working and stuff.
I never thought of trying the exact same meal, different, time apart. That is brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, very
pretty cool.
Very cool. Yep. Assist is helping lots of people with their blood sugar. So I'm very, very blessed. All right. Anybody else have something they want to share?
Okay, I will.
Okay.
Okay. So most of you probably know, some of you don't, but a month ago yesterday, I lost my apartment to a house fire, a building fire. It's okay. I made it out. But another thing that a lot of you probably don't know.
You're fine. This is a friend of Judy's coming on.
Okay. A lot of you probably don't know that I've been a smoker since high school, and I've always been that smoker too, that when somebody else quits, I'm like, you'll come back. Like, I love it. I'm not kidding. I love everything about smoking. I don't care if it smells bad. I don't care if it shaves the end of my life off. That's how my head was. But when you're in a building burning and the smoke just hitting you like that, like, it really puts things in perspective. And I don't know if it's the daily MetaPower that's helping, but not one. Have not touched one since I got pulled out, really.
Oh my goodness.
So,
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
it's exciting for me because
that's huge. That's
so
huge,
huge.
Adrian.
Congratulations.
Oh my goodness. That we should post that. If you want to stop smoking, have your apartment building burned down.
Do it. Just do it. Easy.
It's huge. And do you think the MetaPower is helping you with cravings, or do you think it's replacing that nicotine energy boost that you used to get?
I think it's the cravings, because honestly, there's only been maybe 2 or 3 times in the past 4 weeks that I've thought I should be having a cigarette right now, but it's not been so overpowering that, you know what, I'm going to go get an emergency pack. Like, not even.
To it, Adrian. We are all with you. We are your support team, your cheerleaders.
I know.
Now you've told us all. We're all going to be checking up on you. So you got to stick with it, girl.
Definitely check up.
Oh my God. It took me, when I was in my 20s and I quit smoking after I had been smoking for 12 years. So I started when I was 12 and I quit when I was 25. I'm not kidding you. And it took me weeks, like 6 weeks, to where I wasn't itching for a cigarette. And you did it in 3.
Yeah.
Jealous does not begin to describe.
I'll tell you though, I mean, honestly, I almost didn't make it out of the apartment. Like, they got to me just in the nick, and I had already started inhaling, and I don't mean to sound gross, but I was inhaling and vomiting smoke. It was all smoke all at the same time. So I'm sure that played a big part too, because when the desire even to feel something like that in my throat again.
That is a huge blessing.
The guy downstairs for me, the whole fire started because he started a cigarette and forgot about it. He left, it burned up in the ashtray and then fell off onto his bed. So psychologically too, I'm just like, I'm good.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so proud of you and so excited for your future, because it's.
But I think MetaPower, I really do. I like the craving. I never thought I'd be a non-smoker, like, just because even when I was a smoker, the craving was just nuts. And, you know, none of you saw, I didn't smoke at convention.
I didn't know. And that's impressive.
I don't like to.
So do you smell better now? I mean, like, does your nose work better now? Not, I mean, you as a person, I mean, your nose.
A little bit, but my sinuses are bad. So taste is better. Taste is a lot better. Things taste good.
That is awesome. What a great way to start the day. Okay. You guys made me so happy. I'm so happy you're all here. And LeeAnn's going to talk about some of our wonderful protocols that we have. But first of all, I want to tell you a little bit about LeeAnn. She joined me with the oils probably about 6 years ago. And LeeAnn did not look as healthy as she does in front of you today. LeeAnn was struggling a lot, and she was having a lot of issues in her life. And I can remember being so worried about her. Her husband, John, was more interested in the business, and LeeAnn was taking Lifelong Vitality and getting healthier. And I spent some time in Houston with them. Loved that time with LeeAnn. I learned things from her as we went around trying to share the oils. And now to watch her become the leader that she is and become the woman that she is and the mother that she is a true joy. I've seen her grow up and blossom and become healthy and more beautiful than she already was. And it's been a true joy. So LeeAnn, we're super excited to hear from you tonight, whatever it is you have prepared for us.
You're so sweet. Thank you, Shalene. And thank you for this team. And man, I mean, that's a big part of why I am where I am today. So, well, let me go ahead and get started. Actually, let me slideshow on?
Yep, should work. I'm going to mute myself so you don't hear me cough.
Okay. Oh. And there we go. All right. Can you see my screen? Cool. So we're going to go through some just common oil protocols for common issues. So these are the ones we're covering today. You might have seen it in the flyer: blood pressure, cholesterol, energy, neuropathy, pets, and reducing toxic load. And guess what? You will probably see a pattern here. So, blood pressure. So there's different protocols for hypertension versus hypotension, high blood pressure versus low blood pressure. So lifelong vitality is definitely going to help with high blood pressure. MetaPower Advantage. Shalene, do you want to say something about that?
Well, I've always had not high blood pressure, but it's always been 145, 150. And I just had my well check last week while I was unwell, mind you, with the mask on, because it was just cold symptoms. And I was 124/82. And I was so excited because that's what I was most worried about. Woohoo!
That was awesome. And so, and that's the main change you've made, right? Is the MetaPower.
Oh, definitely. Everything else is the same. Yep.
That's awesome. And then, so as far as oils go, these are the oils you can use. It's recommended twice daily, just 3 drops. Basil, clary sage, lavender, marjoram, and ylang ylang. You can find this in the Essentials of the Earth book. So if you have one of those, you don't really need to write it down. And hypotension, low blood pressure, you would want to do topical or diffusion. So the first one for hypertension was really just recommended topically. Hypotension, topically or diffusing, inhaling. Twice daily: cypress, geranium, rosemary, and serenity. For cholesterol, again, lifelong vitality is up there. MetaPower is up there. We know, if you have learned about MetaPower, it does regulate fat storage, right? So when we are metabolizing the fat and getting it out of our system and out of our blood, right, then we're lowering our cholesterol. So those are 2 ways to do it with supplements: lifelong vitality and MetaPower. And then with the oils, taking 3 drops internally: lemongrass, cassia, and lavender. For energy, there's really 3 types of energy that this can be broken down into. So if you're feeling physical fatigue, of course, okay, well, let me just say, for all of these, you can see lifelong vitality, MetaPower. So, it's really it's almost like a one-stop shop, right? When you're doing supplements, you're going to see benefits in almost every single one of the protocols we covered when you're taking those. If you need more help, or if you're not on the supplements, you can turn to the oils here. So again, peppermint is listed on all 3 of these: physical, mental, and emotional. They recommend the back of the neck for physical fatigue, inhaling or apply topically for mental. And then emotional is really going to focus on diffusing, inhaling the oils. And what I found interesting is that for physical, they also listed AromaTouch technique as a great source for physical fatigue. Let's see, anything else?
And in case someone doesn't know, the AromaTouch technique is putting oils down your spine and getting them into your system that way.
Yeah, so it's a series of 8 oils that are done one after another, and a kind of a specific layering technique. mostly on the back, a little bit on the feet, a little on the neck. And also you'll be inhaling it at the same time, right? There's a lot of smells going on because that's a lot of oils putting on at once. So those are the oils for that. Neuropathy. So what they recommended most was to create a lotion or you can just do it in oil. So fractionated coconut oil if you wanted, with the Aroma Touch blend and cypress. And then just apply it to the area. So, so frequently it's going to be limbs, right? The hands, the fingers, the toes, the feet. And then wrap it in a hot, moist towel, plastic bag, and then a dry towel on top of that. So just really, you're keeping the oils in, you're keeping the heat and the moisture in, to really drive the oils in quickly and let them do their magic. And Sherry shared a really cool experience. She was actually at the grocery store and overheard some guy explaining why he was in a wheelchair, which was all due to his neuropathy. And his feet were just so numb that he couldn't walk. So she just approached him and told him she had something that she felt could help. Was he willing to try it? He said yes. She gave him this protocol. And a week later, this guy was walking, So he was doing this just, as it says in the textbook, again, twice daily, doing this method to get circulation into those areas. It's really cool. Pets. So with pets, pets was like a big topic. I was like, what can I share about pets? So I just wanted to put the basic rules in here. So of course, just like with people, only use certified pure tested grade oils on your pet, doTerra oils, right? You always want to dilute with the pets for their topical use. Don't use near their eyes, ears, nose, genitals. If you have a diffuser going, you want to make sure they're able to leave the room in case they're not, they're uncomfortable with it. They have very strong senses, right? They have so many more, what is this? Smell receptors. There's a word for it, than we do. So it can be very intense for them. But it can also be a great source of comfort to them. It can be very soothing to diffuse the oils that they like. I guess something I forgot to put on here is that a lot of people will test their oils with their pets just by letting them smell it and watching their reaction. So pets often, sometimes they will be so excited about the oils that they will be licking the bottle. Other times they will just turn away, run away. I don't know. So you can get an idea of whether or not they like it before you go ahead and diffuse it or put it on them. That's a good idea. And do not give your pet products that contain xylitol, toothpaste, beadlets. I know also the PB Assist Junior has xylitol. So that's it's a sugar alcohol, and I guess it's toxic to pets. So monitor your pets after you use the oils on them, especially if you're doing it topically, just in case you might have to dilute further, just like we do with adults or people. You may put a diluted oil on a person or a pet, and it could totally work for some people, and it could still be too much for some people, and they need more dilution. So if they're in distress, drooling, rubbing their face, vocalization, shaking, vomiting, diarrhea, scratching, things like that. You'll just want to keep an eye out. But my favorite reference for pets is called Spoil Your Pet. It's both in a book and in an app. Totally worth it. I just love having that reference for very specific issues. I mean, like when my cat had a terrible wound and I was trying to keep it clean, right? I needed to know what on earth do I do for the, antibacterial factor, and then also for pain and reducing toxic load, another giant topic.
I know.
And I will probably open this up for people to contribute, but these are the kind of the 4 main categories of, like, if you are looking to do a cleanse, before I would have said, well, cleanse and restore kit. Obviously, it's a 1-month program designed to cleanse your body, give you kind of a fresh start. And it was great for that. It really works. What I've noticed is that MetaPower also cleanses the body, and people, we know this a lot because of all of the detox symptoms that people experience. Yep. So one of the ways, well, I guess there's 4 ways that our bodies excrete fatty acids. So when we're on MetaPower and it's regulating fat storage, it is helping us metabolize and excrete fatty acids, which are going to come out in your urine. So it may make your urine smell different. It's come out in your stool and will actually make your stool float more than it would otherwise. Huh. It'll come out in your BO, which is something I experienced for me on MetaPower. It was the first whole week. I just had the worst BO. Even right after I got out of the shower, I would smell so bad. I just couldn't get away from it. And I noticed I will still experience that if I binge on junk food or something. Like for the next about 1 day after, I'll be extra stinky.
Wow.
And the 4th way excreting that would be out of our breathing carbon dioxide as we're exhaling. So your breath might smell different even. So now I would say there are 2 great ways to detox. You can do the cleanse and restore kit if you want. You could also do the MetaPower, and be like, I love doing that because I feel like the MetaPower is giving me so many benefits for every part of my body. And in addition to all that, it's cleansing me constantly. So I don't have to just do a cleanse at the new year. I can just always be clean. And then for reducing toxic load. So some people, I guess this term gets thrown around a lot, and some people know what it means. Some people are like, what is that even? So the way I think of it is our body has to fight off a lot of things constantly. That's what our immune system is designed to do, is to handle everything. If there's too many things to handle, that's when we start having problems. So, it could, we have our diet is one factor, our exercise, but also like the allergens in the air, the environmental toxins floating around, like in cleaning ingredients and hygiene ingredients. So those are really important to do what we can to eliminate the things we can control. Hard to control. Oh, go ahead.
Can I share a story? So it was at Leadership almost 2 years ago that a lady who was a doctor was giving one of the talks, and she said that she had a very sick 9-year-old daughter. She was not into doTerra. And the daughter had respiratory issues, and she was doing everything she possibly could to help that daughter. And she said, I was a good mom. She says, I would keep her sheets clean on a regular basis. And when I made her bed, I'd put baby powder in there and just make it all smell good for her. And she said, when I found doTerra and I realized that the things I was doing were making my daughter sicker, I felt so guilty. And I've never forgotten her telling that story, because we all do those things. We all didn't know so many things in our lives, and that we did. So when you talked about reducing toxic load, it's not anything I was even familiar with 10 years ago. I didn't know to be a natural person or make good choices. My house was full of the Glade plug-in things and the Febreze sprays and all of that. And I would get headaches and I didn't know why. And so for me, when you cover this, and I appreciate this, I just feel like our bodies have to deal with so much, and reducing the toxic load just means making as many choices as we can to put on our body, in our body, smell into our body, environmental, whatever we can possibly control to lighten the toxic load, so we have less that we have to deal with. My 2 cents.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's super great. Oh,
if I could state also something that Dr. John Levitt has said that really stuck in my head was, some of our toxic load comes from the everyday metabolic actions our body goes through. Our cells break down, they're renewed. That cellular stuff that is broken down needs to be metabolized as well. And if our body is busy fighting off environmental toxins, those regular, ordinary, everyday leftovers, I call them, in our bodies won't be metabolized properly. They'll be stored, they'll be walled off, they'll be shuttled into fat cells or onto, visceral fat and coat your organs, etc. When we reduce the outside toxins, our bodies can deal with our bodies way better.
Yeah. That's totally true. So as far as hygiene products go, there are, I don't know, thousands of toxins that are just very common in those products. So whatever we can do to find very clean products, I'm grateful that doTerra has very, very clean hygiene products for us. There are a few things that doTerra doesn't offer that every now and then I would want. Well, one of those things used to be sunscreen. So very glad to have a clean sunscreen now. I know hairspray was one of those things that, well, when I had a mohawk, I used all the time. Now I rarely use it. But if I were to want to use it, what I would recommend for people is to get this app that I really love for those one-off items doTerra doesn't have. It's called Think Dirty, and it will give you a rating for, like, not every product. doTerra is not on there. I think certain private companies don't get on there, but for all the regular stuff you can find at HEB, you can get a rating to see how clean or dirty it is. They have kind of I want to say it's like a 10-point scale with a red, yellow, green kind of, so you can easily scroll through and be like, okay, green, 0 to 3, maybe I'll do a 3, but maybe I really want a 0. Yellow, I probably shouldn't. Red, definitely not. Don't touch that stuff. And I think it's a pretty good system that they have there that takes into account like the number of toxic ingredients, and I think how dangerous certain ingredients are. So that is a really cool thing. Oh, okay. And then cleaning, it's one of those things that we can control our environment in our home. maybe in the place we work, to just limit, again, those same kind of toxic ingredients that you come into contact with, either because your soap is directly on your skin while you're cleaning, or inhaling the fumes of whatever cleaning products you're using. So doTerra has two main cleaning lines, right? On Guard and Abode, with a lot of different offerings there. Dish soap, laundry soap, cleaner concentrate, hand soap. Yeah. So does anyone else have anything to add?
Perfume.
Yeah, Judy?
Perfume?
Oh, perfume. Yeah. So perfume that is a great point. There's also a lot of toxins in many perfumes, and doTerra is cool because we could literally use like any oil or blend as a perfume if we wanted, whatever smell to your liking. Was that pretty much all you were thinking, or did you have more specific thing about perfume? Judy?
Sorry, can you repeat again? Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Was that everything that you were thinking about perfume, or did you have something else more specific?
No.
Oh, okay. What perfume do you like to use for oils?
Oh, I created my own perfume.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it with oils or what?
With the oil, yes.
What do you use?
I will use the fruit, like orange, that kind of things. I would pick up the few things like a wild orange or lemon or the grapefruit, and I close my eyes, and then I just choose when I close the eyes and pick up. And then in the middle, I will choose the flower, and in the end, I will choose in the like a cedar wood or something, that kind of heavy smell. So I will always pick up the few bottle and then close my eyes and tell myself what kind of oil for the perfume I will choose, and then I just choose any one and then created my own perfume. Wow. Because you're talking yourself, your body will choose what you need.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Awesome. Well,
LeeAnn, I had a question.
Yeah.
Is there any harm, and you may have answered this already, I apologize in advance if you did, but is there any harm in taking MetaPower simultaneously with the Cleanse and Restore kit, or is it a either or type thing? Do you know?
There is definitely no harm in doing it. And let me actually go back. So now a lot of us, like a lot of us are taking the whole kit, plus we're taking Lifelong Vitality, plus PB Assist, plus Terrazyme. Like that is a staple for many, many people. So that's already half the Cleanse and Restore kit right there.
Okay.
The GX Assist is going to do some extra work getting the bad bacteria out of the gut. And then the two Zendocrines are going to do a lot of cleansing the organs work, and lemon as well. DDR Prime is going to be a lot more for cellular health. So, I mean, I would say the whole kit might be a little bit overkill. And I would probably do, Well, I think I might just do the whole kit minus the DDR prime and the lemon.
Okay.
Because I think that the Terrazyme and the Zendocrines are so important. And then you're taking the PB Assist and the GX Assist part of the months for 10 days each. So.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So you do the GX to clear the bad bacteria. And then after that, you put in the good bacteria with the PB Assist.
Got it.
I'd like to remind, there was something very recently about the Terrazyme, the digestive enzymes,
Yes.
working not in conjunction with, but with the MetaPower Assist. So you have two products. The Terrazyme digestive enzymes break down your food for easier digestion. And then the MetaPower Assist product helps to block the absorption of blood sugar to even it out. So if you have the Terrazyme digestive enzymes and the Assist with the berberry leaf to block the absorption of blood sugar, these two products will work against each other. So you're supposed to separate them by, I think, 3 to 4 hours. So you take your MetaPower Assist with the berberine and the mulberry leaf in it with your heaviest meal, and then you take your Terrazyme way later,
After.
like 3 or 4 hours later.
Thanks for bringing that up, Patty.
Yeah, and so the Terrazyme will help to break down what's left over after the meal has been digested. And that's a good part. That's a great part of the detox, because you don't want these leftover bits hanging out in your gullet. That's just a no.
Yeah, so the timing is important for only those two products, I think, really.
Okay.
And I had heard a shorter window, more like a couple hours. So what is it, 15 minutes before for the Assist? And then they said after.
Well, you can take the Assist within 2 hours of your heaviest meal, and it will help reduce your blood sugar impact. So I think it should be more than 2 hours to take the Terrazyme after the Assist.
That is wonderful information.
It is.
That's all I
need. And I'm sorry, I haven't made that more noticeable. Thank you so much, Patty, for bringing that up. That came out just about a week ago, and that was very important information.
Right.
I have another question.
Mensa scholars.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, Diane.
Did I understand you to say that if you're taking LLV and the whole MetaPower kit, that DDR prime is not necessary?
Well, I personally wouldn't do that, because I mean, you're getting so much antioxidant action in the LLV and the MetaPower already.
Yeah, but I think it really depends on you and your life and how old you are. Because as you said that, I thought, ooh, but some of us that are older might need some of that extra.
Yeah. So
I'm asking because I have been taking the DDR prime for months.
Yeah.
Probably over a year. Goodness, it's been a year since my surgery, and that's when I started taking it. But I ran out about 2 weeks ago. I don't know how I let that happen, and I have felt weaker.
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
So I'm wondering, what is it doing that the LLV and MetaPower are not supplying for me?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you what's in there that's not in the MetaPower. In the DDR prime, you have specific things like the thyme, the summer savey, and the lemongrass that is not actually in the MetaPower kit. And these are the DNA policeman powerhouse oils, is what I like to call them. They turn on organelles and enzymes inside your cells that correct DNA misprints when your cells divide. That's what DDR prime does. The older you get, the less active these intracellular policemen get, and the less populated they get. And that's a lot more cellular chemistry and biochemistry than most people know.
But I love it. I wish I had your brain, Patty.
Well, so
epigenetics is new, man. It's all totally new. It's groovy.
So yeah, what I would recommend for you, Diane, is to test. Of course, you can do your own tests. I mean, if you feel better with it, it sounds like it's useful for you. What I do is I go get muscle tested for my supplements because, I mean, I've taken an awful lot of supplements. I often have been taking $250 worth of supplements every month, and it, you know, goes up and down and all over the place. But I want to be taking what's useful for me. I don't want to be taking extra. I don't want to be wasting. That seems dumb.
Right.
So I go get muscle tested occasionally just to see what's the best fit. And, you know, when I went to Dr. Joy with my dad a few years ago, she tested for DDR prime and 4 other anti-inflammatory supplements. I think there's deep blue and turmeric and copaiba and something else. And she said, basically, you could take some, I want to say like one of each of these or something, or you could just take one DDR prime. Like his body was getting that much benefit from DDR prime that he didn't need the other ones. So that might be useful for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Gosh.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So real quick, the last thing was just resources. Like so much of this information I got from Essentials of the Earth. Also, there's the Droply app, which is free to everybody on our team. And if you want it, just ask Shalene. Probably be the easiest.
Or Ashley, if you know Ashley King, Sherry's assistant.
Yeah, she can get it to you. And she'll just send you like a link. You can download it on your phone for free. And then of course the Spoil Your Pet book or app, super great.
Such great information, LeeAnn. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Can I add one more thing about cholesterol? You listed 3 oils there, and one thing that somebody had the experience with, lemongrass. And so I've told a lot of people, just dilute it in a roller bottle, put it on the bottoms of your feet for a few months. And I've literally had people whose numbers have dropped dramatically. So that's another easy way to work with high cholesterol.
Well, the lemongrass and the citrus oils are all high in, okay, here comes a sciencey thing. It's the limonene. It's the limonene that wrings out, that helps your liver create glutathione to help wring out the leftovers from the liver, that helps to pass that cholesterol through the system. Cholesterol is a measurement. It's a molecule that's created from leftover fats and other oils that are really, really difficult for the body to metabolize.
Yeah.
The freer your liver is, the more work it can do to help release these things from your body. There are some people who make high levels of cholesterol naturally. They could eat grass their entire life and they would still have high cholesterol because that's the way their DNA creates. That's what their body creates, is these high low density cholesterol, which is the dangerous one. And so the lemongrass and the citrus oils, lemongrass, tangerine, grapefruit, wild orange, and lemon, that have these high limonene contents that helps your liver get that stuff out of your circulatory system so it doesn't build up on your blood vessels as plaque. It is really important to know how these oils work. If you don't like lemongrass or you don't have it, you know, you can use tangerine, you can use grapefruit to the same effect. But lemongrass is $10 for 15 milliliters. It's one of the best deals on the planet for doTerra oils, and it is such a powerhouse. It really helps a lot of other a lot of things.
Yep. Thank you.
Real quick, I see Patty and Adrian want the app. Does anyone else want the app? And I'll email Ashley, Heather, and Becky. Was that you? Okay. Was that everybody?
Sounds
okay.
Good.
If you can just type your phone number in the chat, and then I will email Ashley and she will text you a link for it. So you'll get a link from a system. So if you get something that looks a little weird,
Just
the name is Droply, and that's what it is.
Would you put me on the list too, LeeAnn? I have tried it and it didn't work for me, but it's been a while. So I'd love to try it again.
All right.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Guys, guess what? This is the last Zoom of the year. Because next year, if you're in town, you get to come to my house for goodies and a gift that I've got for all of you. And if not, then you're not going to see us for a few weeks because we're taking a few weeks off. So we'll have a short Zoom on January 10th, where I will give you a lesson on traveling with the oils while I am in Disney World with my family. So I'm going to be coming to you live from Disney to give you traveling tips. And it'll just be a short Zoom that night. So I can just get away from my family for just a little bit, give you some fun tips. And hopefully it'll be at the time that there's fireworks or something going on. So it'll look really exciting. But thank you all for being here and joining in our natural journey, and being here on Tuesday nights means the world to me and to all of us. And I know your lives are healthier because of it. So thanks for spending time with us. And we'll have a little business meeting. So those that want to stay on, feel free to stay on for that.
Thank you.
Love ya. All right, Patty, you got something for us?
I have so much in my head.